Okay. This piece you're getting looking at now.
Ready?
Ask Brian.
Brian, can you hear?
He's muted.
You open it?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, glad to have you on board here. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the agenda tonight, we got consider approval not requiring to wear a mask during private events at the Fisher Center. I'm gonna let Stacy come up to the podium because I discussed it with her earlier, and so she could give us complete details what's going on.
Sure. I guess my opinion is that my staff and I do feel safe and comfortable with allowing private events to make their own decisions for whether they want to wear the masks or not now that the city has lifted their mandate. As I kind of visited with the mayor earlier, I'm up for any type of compromises just to make sure that all of you are also comfortable with those decisions as well. Just kind of a couple of things that are coming up within the next few weekends or after hours. You know, we have a lot of meetings that are going on through the weeknights after hours right now. Of course, prom is this weekend. We've got a couple of weddings lined up at the end of April and beginning of May. And then, of course, we'll get into wedding and family reunion season. I guess my opinion is, you know, we've kind of come to a time where it seems that our community or our nation as a whole is getting a little bit more comfortable. Gosh, I don't want to speak on behalf of the nation, but we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And so I am comfortable at the speed we have used to get there as well. And so, yeah, I just want you to know that I am comfortable with those decisions, with allowing our customers to sign the waiver and accept the responsibility for their events, and then make their own decisions regarding whether or not they choose to wear the mask.
And this is after hours, right? Not like if somebody gets
That's
their place during the day.
I didn't know if that was determined. I didn't know if that was like specifically written. That's kind of what I was talking about, the compromise. If you would like for our staff to continue to wear masks, if you would like for customers Monday through Friday, 8 to 7 to 5, those are our hours right now, to continue to wear masks. I mean, I'm fine with that. If you want to make it all optional, I'm fine with that. Again, just kind of what your comfort level is as well. We are completely comfortable without masks.
Okay, I asked you earlier in the meeting on the prom coming up and who was going to sign the waiver. And
Yeah, and I actually just spoke with the prom sponsor, Kathy Cleaver. She'll be the one signing that.
okay, so that school will be signing the
Yes,
waiver
the
on it,
school
and not
will
allow
be,
employees to be there.
right. Yeah, no staff will be there.
So I guess what the other side of the story is where the commission stands on the other issues where our employees are there. So do you have something, Becky? Oh, go ahead.
I don't think we can go that far. Meeting was called for private.
Do what?
Okay,
I think it's something we can discuss.
Okay.
so just,
The meeting was called to discuss private events. I think we're going to be.
okay.
It's something we can put on.
Well, it says on here, private events at the Fisher Center, and it don't really dictate of what we're talking about. Do you understand something different than I do on this?
I guess before we get into the conversation of 8 to 5, I mean, the meeting was called for the private events. It was a special meeting called
Gotcha.
to discuss
Yeah.
the private events. This would be the prom, anything that happened on in the private.
So
Rented out.
you just want to address one issue tonight?
I think that's the only thing we can address because that's what the meeting was called.
Well, it don't say prom on here.
No, but I would consider that a private event.
Yeah, we're just addressing,
Okay.
after hours
hours.
events.
That's what the meeting was called for. So I don't know that we can make a decision on anything else without another notice.
Well, I guess the way this is written, it didn't explain that, so.
No,
Well, and we can discuss it on Monday anyway.
Okay.
It's not like it's that far away. So,
okay.
I guess, I don't know. I guess I'll jump in. I do not feel comfortable lifting that mandate, for prom. And I base this on several things. I have talked to seniors and I got to think how I want to say this. The issue, if the mask mandate is lifted for prom, and I understand that the schools lifted the mask mandate starting on Friday. The issue is, and we've been told by the health department that if there is a positive case, and we all know that most likely there won't, but there's still a chance that there will be a positive case. If there is, that could possibly result in a huge quarantine because there will be no masks and there's no way to contact trace. Now, when you're in school, there is contact tracing, there are seating charts. When they're in the hallways, it's a 4-minute passing period. So you're well within the 6 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it is without a mask. And so you can control that a bit better. Now we've got juniors and seniors, and I'm just going to focus on seniors. You've got seniors who they are going to put at risk the next 2 weeks if somebody, 5 to 10 days or whatever the new quarantine thing is, depending on if they test positive or if they choose to get a test after 5 days, that can shorten their quarantine. So they're going to have to risk their activities for the next couple of weeks because they want to go to prom. And it can't be as simple as, well, I'm going to wear my mask and I'll be fine. If everybody is not masked up, then the quarantine will happen. And the quarantine rules are out of our control. It's not, let's just ignore it. I mean, if the health department says it has to happen, it has to happen. If kids would have been able to be vaccinated sooner, if they would have chosen to do that, because I know some of the seniors who have been vaccinated, but even one specific kid I know won't even have the 2 weeks done before prom. So once again, this person has to make the choice. Am I going to roll the dice and gamble and then lose? Because we've all been about, let's make sure, we stay in school and kids can do everything they can do so they don't lose graduation and stuff. Letting them be in a huge sweaty mosh pit, which they will because they have not been in a dance forever. It's rolling the dice and making a gamble I am not comfortable doing. Now, when Monday rolls around or when somebody has a wedding next weekend and they want to do that, fabulous. I think that's their choice. But to take such a big group and risk some things or make kids have to make choices, I don't feel good about that. And I realize we're the city commission, but those kids are still part of the city. And when I have a good majority of the kids saying, we'd rather wear them so we don't have to worry about it, that's good enough for me. Have I talked to all of them? Absolutely not. Are there some who will be like, I don't want to wear it? Absolutely. But I don't want to take the chance of in sports seasons, that's taken 2 pretty significant weeks of training that they don't get. It makes me very uncomfortable. Let me see if I had anything else on, or I guess I can let other people talk and I can come back if I need to, but yeah. And we're also, let's not forget it still is a health risk. I mean, whether you believe it or not, masks help or don't help, there's still a health risk. Effingham just had to quarantine 45 kids. So it's not gone, right? And so they are still going to be able to get out of their cars without their masks. They're going to be able to walk down the little promenade, get their pictures without masks. I would even say that when they're in the building getting their little date pictures, just like when I had pictures at awards, they had the mask on until then they took them off, took the picture, put the mask back on. There's even kids who've gone out and bought like silk masks so they'll match their dresses.
Yeah. And they'll be dining, so they'll have their masks on.
Yes. And there will be that time too, but that's also going to be a little bit more controlled because they're going to be at seats. So there's a little bit more tracing there. Yeah. But once you throw them in a gym to get sweaty, holy cow.
Yeah.
So I will not be in favor of it unless it takes effect on Monday.
Okay, Brian, you're the only one that's on the floor, so you got something to say?
I'd just like everybody to remember that we are here to approve private events without wearing masks. They are still able to make the call if they wanted to have masks. So I just want to add that if a wedding wants to come in and use the Fisher Center, it's up to them whether they want to use masks or not. And I would say it's the same thing for prom. So just remember what this meeting is for, and it's so people can use the Fisher Center and have a wedding or whatever the event may be to not have masks on. And I think everybody's ready for that.
Dave?
Well, I appreciate Becky's comments. I'm not very well connected with the schools and the kids, so I appreciate what she had to say about that. And that is a concern about, you had to have quarantine that whole group of people. Then you got all these activities at the end of the school year that they've got to get through, and graduation and all that stuff. And I don't know if we did relax this, if the school board would jump in there and make a decision, or if it's better off if we make it at this level.
And I do want to add, I'm not saying that the entire group would have to be quarantined. I'm not going to go that. I don't want to put it out there that that's definitely what would happen. But the words we heard from the county health was there could be a mass quarantine. So I don't want to just automatically say that's what's going to happen. But it's, and honest, another note, after prom, the whole time they have to wear a mask. So it would just be for that short amount of time. So yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't make it sound all horrible. I want to be upfront about that. But there's always that option or that chance.
Evan, you got anything?
My thing is, I just don't want to see the kids take the risk of like, they still got sporting events, they still have school, they still have graduation and everything. So yeah, I'm kind of, why, everything's coming to, even for the school, everything's coming for an end on Friday, but they kind of want to jump right into, that situation and then put themselves at risk for losing the rest of the school year. That's my only thing.
And this is their last mass gathering before graduation. So you're right. It's just, and I hate to just keep bouncing it back and forth between us and school board and us. I think a decision needs to be made, and it's what it is.
I'd also like to add just one thing. These kids have had masks on all year. I think they've done an excellent job of keeping the masks on. And I just, if we're going to make it about prom, I think these kids deserve one dance as a senior, where they can look at their friend or whatever with a smile and enjoy themselves for one night. And I think that they deserve that. And I don't think that we should even be considering taking that away from them. So that's all I'll have on this topic.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. I guess I was against it to start with, so I'll be voting against it tonight. So, and I think we can get through one more prom without exposing the whole school. And I'm a little leery, like Becky, that when you get that many people involved in a group, then the exposure is so much greater than it was before. So I guess I'm on.
I guess then I just have a question. So aside from prom, are you then suggesting that this starts Monday and everybody's comfortable with that? Or I know there hasn't been a motion made or anything, but I just want to make sure that discussion is.
I would be comfortable making a motion that's saying beginning on Monday, 19th? Is that Monday the 19th, that we will no longer require a mask in the Fisher Center for after hours private events. Does that cover it?
Yeah.
So that would be contingent on them signing the waiver that Stacy was talking about.
Correct.
That also indemnifies the city. So legally, I guess I'm not worried about it as long as they sign the waiver.
So, and then, okay, so that's only after hours. So are you saying Monday through Friday, even that when there's events going on, those aren't considered?
Because that's what we started talking about, that it was,
I mean, private,
okay.
to me,
So
to
like
me,
if
private
I,
events are anybody who pays for, anybody that utilizes the Fisher Center. There's a difference between events and traffic.
okay.
I should have a chair. So I guess, so you have a number of daytime meetings that have reserved.
Sure, yeah.
Either one of the rooms. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely, since February 1st, we have had multiple 8 to 5 Monday through Friday events within the Fisher Center that have all been masked at this point.
Okay.
And our staff has worn masks when dealing with customers up until this point.
I guess the only thing we're really handling tonight is the prom, isn't it?
Well, but it's,
No,
Can I ask one question real quick? Are they, the person that's organizing prom that said they're willing to sign the waiver, are they in favor for not having masks, or could they not sign the waiver and have everybody wear masks? I'm just kind of confused by that. When
the
Are they-
the waiver is a part of our contract now. It goes along with our contract. So we have to have that contract back in order to allow the user to utilize our facility. I'll be honest, I don't have conversations with our customers asking them how they're policing their events or what their feelings are on masks or anything like that. I don't go above and beyond too far regarding that. They just know that they've signed this waiver, and then they know that the liability and the responsibility of whatever mandates or whatever policies are in place, that those are up to them.
So I might just jump in. This is,
Yes.
it's just some additional language that was integrated into our existing waiver. So
Yes.
anytime someone in the past has rented part of the Fisher Center, they've signed this agreement. And part of that, they indemnify the city, hold us harmless from their own actions while they're in the Fisher Center. So that part has been updated regarding the COVID, because we
Yes.
were not sanitizing at the outset. Now, this would be more along the lines of, KDHE and CDC still have recommendations. If a party that's going to rent the Fisher Center chooses not to follow those recommendations, they hold us harmless from any harm or liability that may incur because of that. So it's part of the agreement they sign when they return a check.
Yeah.
So
so then I
Okay.
guess I would amend my motion then to include all private events beginning on the 19th, Monday, the 19th, assuming that they sign the waiver.
Yeah.
And I got that all clear. Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Is there any other comment?
I would like to just say that I feel that we're overstepping, and that we should let the school make their own decisions.
Okay, thank
And
you.
I just feel this is an overstep of the city.
Well, we've come a long way, Brian. We've discontinued the mask ordinance, so I mean, we're gaining daily, so.
I agree, but these kids have one last shot at it, and we're going to hold it to them and not let the prom organizers make the decision, because they could do that. They could have they could decide, well, the kids are going to just go ahead and wear masks, even though they were allowing it at the school. That we should be letting them make that decision and not us.
We're wearing them tonight. So. Okay, we got a motion and second on the floor. Is there any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay.
Motion carried. Is there a motion we adjourn?
so
So
moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second, we adjourn. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thanks everybody for coming out.